Hello, wonderful Scorpio. This is Gwendolyn. Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. This video is going to be a monthly Tarotscope for Scorpio for April. And we open the month with the last part of this Mercury retrograde in Aries. And I think it's causing some people to, well, it's causing all of us to maybe have communication that is not clear or not what we necessarily want it to be. Aries is the warrior, and when Mercury is going backwards in Aries, it can sometimes bring up a lot of heat, unnecessary heat or aggression. So my recommendation is that for the first 2 weeks of April, try to remain graceful under pressure. Try to, even if there's others provoking you or a lot of agitation in the environment, try to remain calm. Try to be the calm in the eye of the storm, because a lot of people are really experiencing this Aries energy and not the highest qualities of it. On the high side, Aries can be, breaking through boundaries, taking action. All the good side of Aries is very productive and harnesses that fire energy in a constructive way. But on the low side, and especially because it's in retrograde, Aries can be destructive. So be careful with your words. Be careful not to let others' aggression disturb your peace. Try to remain peaceful under any disturbances. And as we got popping out here, we've got 3 of air and 7 of fire. So this especially means that when you're experiencing any sort of doubt or feeling betrayed or feeling, this is usually a card of the heart being pierced by 3 swords. So disappointment, betrayal, stormy weather is what I'll say. Stand up for what you believe in, but don't get consumed by the fire. This is 7 of fire, which means success despite adversity. When you're standing in a position that's elevated, those below cannot burn you. So I'm just going to say don't be one of the ones who's picking up the torches. Hold your own torch in a calm, peaceful manner. Don't get swept into mob mentality or riot if there's people coming at you with aggression. So that's my first message about the first 2 weeks of April. There's a lot of benefit to remaining calm when there's storms going on around you, and you can tap into your inner strength, your inner peace, your inner resolve, and it may just be a nice experience to see that you can do that even while storms rage around you. So let's see what's going on for Scorpio for April here. After April 15th, Mercury goes direct, and we have a new moon in Aries on the 15th. So after that time, it's a good time to go forward. Between now and the 15th, maybe it's just a good time to be still and not get swept up in the waves of anger or aggression that may be surrounding you, or that others may be consumed with. So let's see for Scorpio. We open the month with 4 of water, and that's abundance. Sometimes it means 4 of cups can mean feeling bored, feeling checked out, feeling that you don't want to participate. And with this in reverse, it's just saying that maybe there's more love coming at you than you realize. This is a very a card of having more than you know. So there may be more around you than you know, Scorpio, especially in terms of emotion and love. It may be that you're not seeing, or you haven't been seeing the blessings that are around you, but you're coming out of that, and you may be inspired or invigorated with a new passion, new desire. This is Ace of Wands. So this is a new idea, new vitality, new joy, new new enthusiasm that you can go forward with. And I see too, it's here with 8 of fire, which in this deck is called insight. So I'm seeing these two together as an aha moment. Some of you may be coming out of a malaise, coming out of a feeling of, say, apathy or boredom. Sometimes this card can mean that. So if you are, I'm really seeing in April that you get ignited with this wonderful inspiration, this move to action, this call to doing things in an initiated new way. I'm seeing like the rocks here, whatever has felt solid. This is a new thing that jumps up and says, you know, I've got a new idea. I want to go in a new direction. I'm inspired. I got this insight. I'm really seeing an aha moment here for you at the beginning of April, Scorpio. And then I also see 7 of air in reverse. This is a card that sometimes means, it's called futility in this deck, but sometimes it means cutting corners or doing things in a way that doesn't consider the ramifications on others. It's sort of like a very me, me, me card. And it can mean when you do things in a way, or when someone does things in a way that is just looking out for their own self-interest. They're not worried about risky behavior or doing things in an underhanded way. So with this in reverse, you know, especially as it's saying futility here, I see these actions that you're taking are coming from a place of inspiration, from a place of joy. So you aren't going to be, it's not going to be futile, the action that you take here at the beginning of April. Keep in mind to consider the impact on others. Keep in mind that whatever behavior is there is seen, even if it appears on the surface to be unseen. But I see this as a very positive, inspired, passionate, vital, enthusiastic beginning for you that is born from insight, maybe even a communication. Then towards the middle of April, we have the Son of Air, who is the equivalent to the Page of Swords in the regular tarot. And the Son of Air speaks his truth. He says what's on his mind. He doesn't necessarily have precision in his words. He's not very experienced in communicating his thoughts, but he says things in a very clear, direct way. Sometimes, again, be careful with these two cards together, 7 of Swords and Page of Swords, that you do things in a way that's not cutting. Because sometimes too much air energy can defeat your purposes. But I see also that you have 6 of water here, which is a very sweet, innocent card. This is a card of sharing your heart with someone. Usually a card of someone that you know from your past. It can be a card of reunion. It's like children sharing love between one another. So if you're going to express yourself and say something very directly, say it with a sense of innocence and kindness and love. That's what the energies here. There's children involved in both of these. So this is like coming from a childlike place. And this is having a childlike heart. So remember the innocence, the kindness, the sweetness when you speak your mind. That's going to help you grow from Son of Air into the Knight of Air, the Queen of Air, and then the King of Air, which is mastery over communicating your thoughts via your words. In the middle of the month, I see 4 of Earth in reverse, which is called security. Sometimes this card can be a card of clinging. 4 of Earth is a card of wanting to maintain the status quo, wanting to hold on to what you have. Sometimes it can block your heart energy. So be careful that when you're speaking your heart, it's not coming from a place of fear or lack. Know that you have abundance, security. Know that you have a strong foothold. And if you're not feeling that, just do something to get grounded. That will help this 6 of water energy flow better. It will help the heart to flow. If you come from a place of kindness, sweetness, innocence, rather than any fear or feeling a sense of insecurity, because when security is in a reverse here, that's a sense of insecurity. So this is saying speak your truth from your heart in a sweet, kind way. Don't have fear or insecurity. And then there's a rebirth available to you. It's called Spirit Guide in this deck, but this is also known as the Judgment card. And this is a card about forgiveness. So this means letting the ghosts of the past go. It means letting old baggage go. It means forgiving both yourself and others in order for new life to take hold. In many decks like the Rider-Waite, there's people who are coming up from the grave and their spirits are being lifted out because the heaviness of all this earthly stuff, this potentially fear or insecurity, is being swept away by the angel's trumpet. And here we just see this wonderful spirit here in this eagle image where it's about release, it's about lifting up, getting lighter, going to the next level. And often forgiveness is a way to do that. So if you're with it in reverse, if you're having difficulty forgiving someone, try to work with that, because that can be very powerful, especially with words that are coming from your heart. And even if there's this fear, doubt, or insecurity attached to it, power of forgiveness is lighter than anything. If you look at these two cards, this one has a lot of power. It rises up above the earth. This one's about being connected to the earth, which can be good and grounding and give you security. But if there's too much focus on this, things can get very heavy. So I'm going to encourage you, middle of the month, Scorpio, be light. You know, use forgiveness, both towards yourself and others, people from the past, to just, you know, soar higher, soar up. You know, it's cliche, but like the eagle here. Go fly to a higher realm, you know, experience new air. It's going to be very uplifting for you. And then towards the end of the month, I see some beautiful things here, Scorpio. You've got both the moon and the sun. So this means tapping into your emotions. The moon is about dreaming. It's about feeling the emotions that are at a very deep level for you. You can see all this water here, and usually water represents emotions, heart energy in the tarot. So it's allowing the transition from moon to sun here is allowing these emotions to bubble up, you know, to come through in this water energy for examination or just even reflection. And then I see her transforming here into the light of the sun. You know, it's about, once she examines this, lets this come up and say, you know, what are these deep-seated feelings? You go to a bright day of joy. It gives you vitality, radiance. It's all about feeling integrated, feeling like if there's emotions that you needed to release, you can do that, and it brings a great sense of joy and happiness and radiance. We did open April with this full moon in Libra, so for some of you this may be releasing emotions related to a relationship, or it may be releasing outdated emotions. When I see this judgment, this is the storyline here, they're all in reverse, so there's some hesitancy, doubt, fear about being able to do this. But if you go from this heavy energy, from judgment, you can lighten it up by exploring your deep-seated emotions and embracing them, and then you end up here in the light of the sun, in this place of peace and radiance and vitality, and there's birds and flowers, and, you know, there's a lot of sort of song and music and radiance that goes along with this. Sun is about joy, so it lightens you up and it allows you to experience that joy, Scorpio. So I encourage you to do that. And then Hermit and Ace of Earth are your final cards for April. And Hermit means, you know, it's funny that you have the sun here surrounded by these two moon cards. Hermit is also a card about self-reflection and going within, finding the truth, getting quiet. And I see this bear here in this card, and this really reminds me that sometimes it's good to just hibernate, like the bear. Bear has its own innate strength, and sometimes is stronger than it knows, but it's really about getting quiet and finding out what is true for you. It just may be a time of reflection. And as you do that, there's a new beginning that the divine wants to hand to you. This is like a new seed, Ace of Earth. It's a new opportunity. It's a gift that's being given to you, perhaps a new life, new money, new job, new lifestyle. There's usually a garden depicted in this card, and it's an invitation to walk into the garden. And I see it so much, Scorpio, as an invitation to move from whatever doubts or fears you had about this card, you know, feeling grounded, feeling strong. It's like saying, here's a little bit more. Here's another thing that you can have. Here's another, sometimes can be a possession or an asset, but either way, it's something that you value. And this is being handed to you by the universe. So what I'm really seeing with these two cards is that there's gifts within a new beginning that is born from this time of self-reflection. And it's really allowing those deep emotions to come up so that they can blossom. So it's really poignant here for spring, where if you do this deep inner work, Scorpio, and you know all about deep emotions, you're one of the signs that, you know, is one of the deepest, emotionally deep signs that gives you your intensity, that gives you your passion. Do some exploring down there and see if you can't come out of it with this radiance and this new gift, this new opportunity from having looked at what the truth is. So that's my reading for you, Scorpio, for April. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up or share it with another Scorpio. And if you ever, please pardon the sirens, but if you ever would like to book a personal reading, you can do that via my website, readingsbygwendolyn.com. And I look forward to doing another reading for you next month. As always, yours in the stars.